and the OGs not misleading the youth, but trying to educate them. Don't, you know what I'm saying, build with them. You know what I'm saying, build them up. You know what I mean? Because we know that the opposition is there, and the battle is for the hearts and the mind, right? So the only way you could be a real OG, a real leader, a real teacher, a real person who's a revolutionary-minded scholar in this knowledge and you're woke and all this stuff that we proclaim is when you see the youth out there, which is our greatest resource. That's right, the youth was our greatest resource. That's why they try to take them from us young. That's why they try to get their minds young. And that's why a lot of leaders like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and a lot of other revolutionaries like New Testament Dr. Martin Luther King, a lot of people, they get cut off young. When I mean young, 39, when he was murdered at the age of 39, that was not old. That was not old. I'm 46, 47, you know? And I'm like, damn, time flies. If he died at 39, and as the saying goes, a lot of people start to begin to live, really understand what I mean by live, understand and apply certain wisdom to life and grow at a certain level. When they start to do that and um, take on that stage in life, right? Because life is a journey, not a destination. Usually they start to realize, wow, I just started living at the age of 40, 45. I'm really starting to understand life, grasp it, and I'm evolving in a different direction. See, they wanted to stop a brother like him who was radical, who was from the streets, who made a change, and it was an example to other people from the streets of the change they could make or greater. And not only that, he was evolving in his consciousness. You had to cut him short because that is an example or a template that they don't want duplicated. So they had to destroy that, right? And make sure that they create a factory that creates the opposition or the antithesis to that, something that would be anti or counter revolutionary, counterproductive, counter long term self improvement or empowerment for the people. And that's why the message and the music has to be controlled the way that it is. So it's just up to us not to preach to the youth or to try to badger them, you know, ill ourselves, you know, but it's about, understanding that some of our greatest leaders are and potential greatest leaders and heroes and sheroes are right now walking around without elegant titles, without elegant names. They don't have a book written on about them. They're not on YouTube yet. They don't even have a voice yet. But a lot of the changes that we're looking forward to come, right? Or that we're hoping for to come, or that we're planting seeds because we got to plant this seed of knowledge in this time space continuum called life, and eventually it's going to produce other greatness. We know that greatness to come is within the youth. They are our greatest resource. That's why they are the greatest target of the opposition, and that's why they have to become more so of the greater target, right? For improvement and change and focus and attention from us, especially those who are proponents of the so-called woke or conscious community or network. It's very incumbent and it's very important that we don't just glorify the story of Malcolm X and the greatness of the legacy that he left, because that is sensationalism, right? And he definitely deserves all the accolades and the great love and adoration he gets once again. But we also should extrapolate and take from the story of Malcolm X too, that before he was Malcolm X, he represented what a lot of young brothers and sisters out here are, right? Products of the social American order, right? Born into a certain kind of social, political, economic paradigm that breeds a certain kind of limitation of a value on life or economic um, privilege or equality, and it develops a certain kind of path that most people go down. So to see a brother come out of that to become as great as he was is only representative of the greatness that is within many of us, like he had it in him. And we always got to consider that. That's just not Malcolm X. We don't just want to glorify a person when they made it. We got to see the greatness in our youth and give them the glory and the benefit of the doubt and the attention and the love and the knowledge, because the battle is for the hearts and minds of our youth. Right? There's a lot of Malcolm Littles out there, once again, who are just waiting to evolve into their greatest potential, all right, and their greatest self. So, with that note, I just wanted to build on that as we came here to this home, to this landmark, which I'm proud to say I live in a city that is where this is dwelling at, where this sits, and all its glory and majesty and history attached to it, you know. And I want to thank Barbara for coming through Boston and once again, and bringing this stuff out to the people, to the world, because there's a lot of things and there's a lot of gems and there's a lot of history in Boston. that goes unrecognized or under-recognized or noticed. I mean, and there's so much to cover, that we only hit the tip of the iceberg with a lot of the things that we do bring out. But, Baba's coming here more, and there's going to be a lot more coverage of a lot of things, and we're going to bring on a lot more teachers.